Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Thursday's Random Readings with me, Marilyn, the PNW High Priestess. Today is March 11th already. I cannot believe this. Hello, Miss Maddie. Hello, Miss Corey. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate that. I'm just looking at something really quick. I'm seeing if I can make my life just a little bit easier. Oh, wait. I think that was it. Hold on. Seeing if I can make my life a little bit easier by seeing your messages on my big monitor versus looking on my phone. Hello, sister. Everybody, my little sissy just joined. She is Sandra Dwelling. She's the one that keeps creating those amazing cabinets that I post on my stories all the time, especially the Medusa one. That one was absolutely fabulous. All right, anyway, welcome to today's Thursday's Random Readings. I already had a message come through, and I will fill you in more on that. So it's a message regarding a child that came through today. So I'll fill you in just a minute on that. Anyway, I'm a little all over the place today, so you'll have to ignore that and love me for exactly how I am. I am also doing, later on today on Clubhouse, myself, Corey Hawkins, and the Painted Goddess will be doing a Clubhouse room talking about Ostara, spring equinox, vernal equinox, whatever you would like to call it, and some history behind it, different ways to celebrate it, things like that. So if you do have Clubhouse, feel free to hook into the Path of the Moon room and check it out. And if you don't have Clubhouse, but you do have an iPhone and you would like an invitation, please just message me right after our live today, and I can text you an invitation. But once again, you have to have an iPhone. So just so you know, I have a few invitations to share for sure with people. So we are doing that Path of the Moon room today on Clubhouse, and then on 3:15, I believe, we are doing the Astrolab room on Clubhouse, where we talk about some solar returns and things like that. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. And I don't know if you can use an iPad. I'm not sure. Why don't you download it and check it out, Miss Runa, and see if you can? Then you'll have that question answered for everybody. So 3:15, we're going to be doing that. And then I do my Path of the Moon room every other week. So feel free to join every other week on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time there. Every week, Thursdays at noon here on Instagram Live. And I'm all over the place lately, but I'm absolutely loving it. Hello, welcome, 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 everybody. Okay, so first of all, any questions that you may have, please put them in the comment area rather than the question box. That question box gets me every time. So put them in the comment area. What else do I have going on? Oh, I have my Path of the Moon, A Journey in Witchery. The next group is starting on March 14th, which I'm so super excited about. I have a wonderful group signed up. It's not too late, but it will be too late come Friday. So if you would like to join up for the Path of the Moon, A Journey in Witchery, please make sure that you sign up by this Friday. All right, because I have to get you set up in Teams and all of those wonderful things. Okay, so I see some questions coming in. I am going to write down the names and how they're coming in super quick. Corey wants a new moon. Painted Goddess, New Moon card. Maddie, New Moon. All right. Okay, so first of all, I need to talk to you guys about the message that came through prior to this before I forget about it later on. You know, one of the ways that I do these readings is I have this group of guides, and these wonderful group of guides surround me, and behind me are my three ancestors. And so I call in my angels, my ancestors, my guides, my guardians to be with me, to share message for best and highest good with me that needs to be shared with those who join in on these conversations. And when I feel that there are other guides, guardians, spirits, angels, whatever, that want to give message, I ask my my guides if they will open the doorway so those spirits can come in and give message. And this morning, or right before this actually, a few of them came in and hesitantly, a little girl came in with them, and she was, I'm talking toddler girl, and holding the hand of what seemed to be a grandparent. What seemed to be a grandparent could have been like a aunt, or you know, a sister of a grandparent, something like that, but it seemed to be a grandmother. And this grandmother, if that's what she was over on the other side. She was not very old. She so she passed, you know, gosh, I mean, looks are deceiving, but it looked like she was maybe in her, I want to say 50s or 60s, something like that, okay? Anyway, she was holding the hand of this little girl, and this little girl, we're talking like toddler, like we're talking between the ages of 2 and 4, I believe, was holding her hand. And the message that came through, I mean, the overall message for that is to let this person know that has lost this child, that she is safe, she is on the other side, and she is with ancestor and being looked after and being cared for. And the one of the things that came through with the grandparent is either the name Rosie, Rose, or has something, this person has something to do with roses, okay? So please take that into consideration. All right, Miss Runa, if you are on Clubhouse on your iPad right now, it's called the Path of the Moon room, but look for me, or yeah, actually look for me, because it'll be under my events. And then you can click on the link through there. All right? Yes, and thank you, Jennifer, for doing that. I really appreciate that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get things started. All right? So far I've got up to Maddie asking for new moon readings. So we are going to start with Corey. Corey would like a new moon card today. Okay. Corey. Corey, the word coming through for you today is forgetfulness. So I don't know if lately you've been feeling as though your mind is like all over the place. But if you are, it's probably planetary, number one. But if you are feeling as though your mind is all over the place, you have the Prince of Wands that came to visit you today. And that beautiful Prince of Wands is, number one, an instigator, but definitely an action taker. And one of the things that I would like to draw attention to, especially if you're feeling mentally disheveled, I want to say, forgetful, confused, things like that. You got a lot of things happening right now. So there's a lot of different ideas going through there. There's a lot of different, and those ideas are also meshed with the responsibilities that you're still taking on as well. So you have all these ideas and these creative aspects trying to come through, but then you also have all of your to-do list going through as well, which is causing, I believe, some mass confusion and maybe forgetting to do some things that need to be done, or things that you normally do that are on your to-do list. Number one, if you're forgetting to do them, I'm going to assume that they're not extremely important, hopefully. Number two, with this Prince of Wands coming into play, I think one of the things that would help you clear up that mind and the forgetfulness is to focus on taking action for that creative venture that you want to go on, right? Yeah, we all have our to-dos. We're always going to have those to-dos. But one of the things that I think that Spirit is trying to tell you is to clear out that space, gather the creative aspect, gather that that manifestation that you want to bring into fruition, that project that you want to bring into life, gather that and focus on that for a minute. So these priorities, these normal to-do priorities, family to-do priorities, things like that, those are going to need to take a side seat. All right, they're gonna need to take a side seat so you can focus on the creative soul path that you really want to bring out into this world right now. It's time to put you forward for a minute rather than those silly to-dos that we have on our list every day. Okay? All right. And now I have a Painted Goddess. So Miss Jen. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, a couple things came into mind. I don't know how you feel about oh, good. I'm glad that resonated with you. I don't know how you feel about guns, Jen. But the words Ruger and range came into play. So, number one, I don't know how you feel about guns. Number two, if you're okay with guns, it might be time to take out some frustration at the shooting range, if you're okay with the guns. Now, when we come to the other range that might be coming into play, let's talk about the scope of things that you are working on. For you, it's almost like you're over here, but then there's this over here too. And the middle aspect, the bringing them together on common ground, is really what's missing. So you're seeing them as two different projects right now, and that common ground space that you would really, really like because you want to mesh these together and you want to bring them together. That's the area that's missing right now. And it's almost like this one is over here, it's one thing, and then this one is something almost completely different, but there's a way to bring them together. And so you're missing that middle aspect, that range. And right now it feels very far away. The two projects feel very far away from one another, but what I want you to take in is that number one, it might be you putting that in there. They might be a lot closer than you think. And that connection might be right underneath your nose. You're just not seeing it because you might be overthinking it. You might be the one causing that distance between the two aspects that you're working on. Okay? So think about that. Think about that. All right. Okay. So you have the Four of Swords that came in for you today. So when we talk about the Four of Swords, you know, we're talking about that number one, resting time. Number two, hooking in with that subconscious, our dreams, our dreamscape, our dream time. All right. Um, I believe that this is the way that you're going to bring these two things together. This is the way that your dreams are going to show you how they're going to connect. They're going to speak to you as to how these two aspects of you are going to connect with one another. Okay? Okay. Um, so number one, if you're feeling unrested lately, you need to know that even in your dreams, you're doing a lot of work. Try and pay attention to those dreams. Have that journal right next to you. Yell into your Siri. Something like that, okay? But you remember, she doesn't always take down what we say. So it's usually best to write it down. Check in with those dreams. I do believe that not only are you doing work in the dreams, but you're receiving messages in those dreams, in your subconscious. Make sure that you pay attention to divine downloads that you might be getting as well regarding these projects and how to connect them. You need to know that you can connect them. There is definitely this way to bring them together. And I think one of the ways that you're going to bring them together is stop viewing them as separate things. Stop viewing them as over here and over here, and just allow the work on them to become combined, the information on them to become combined, those kind of things. And really check in with that dreams, with your dreams, okay? And then I had Miss Maddie, and then I've got April. Okay. I hope that resonates with you. All right, Miss Maddie. Let's talk about some life management today. Let's talk about acknowledging getting your shit together and taking care of business today. I see you really, hold on, let me write this down. I see you really starting to take stock in not just your life, but taking stock in the legal aspects of your life, the financial aspects of your life. Really figuring out, okay, what is going on financially? What's going on when I pass? Like, where are things going? Who's this house going to? Like, those kind of things, all right? So legal things like that coming into play for you. That's what I mean by life management for you. Like, I can see you sitting at your kitchen table really looking over documents, like legal contractual documents for yourself, and really studying where these aspects of you are going to be, all right? Like, where you are putting these things, okay? And this is not just, it's not just about finances. I mean, it's almost like this is about soul too, you know? I want you to pay attention to, if you feel as though you might be signing your life away, that comes in. If you feel as though you might be signing your life away, I really want you to take stock in that and think about that one. Big time, all right? This is about your life management, not about you giving it to somebody else, all right? So let's see what you got. Okay. You got your 8 of Swords today. All right. So when we talk about, okay, all right. So follow me here. When we're talking about life management and we're talking about the Eight of Swords, this could be a relationship that, and by relationship, I mean maybe place that you live, person that you're with, job that you're in, a loan that you're paying on, things like that. Okay. This could be a relationship that you are wanting to separate yourself from, but feel as though you cannot because of legal ramifications, or you cannot because of financial constrictions, or you cannot because you may feel that there was a soul contract signed, something like that. Okay, but I really want you to think about this, because you can, if you are wanting to separate yourself from a situation, you need to know that there is that way out. All you have to do is loosen yourself from it, is release yourself from it. If financial is the worry, you need to know that you're smart. You're a smart person. You know, I mean, things are going to be okay. Maybe not in the beginning, it might be tight, but things are going to be okay. All right? I think the most important message for you is don't feel as though you have to stay in any situation that you don't want to be in anymore. Allow yourself the release that you need to allow yourself, and know that no matter what, things are going to be okay. Things are going to be all right. All right? Because you deserve freedom. You deserve to also know that you can do these things on your own, and that you can manage these things on your own. Okay? I hope that helps for you. All right. Miss April. What's coming through for you today? Okay, so I have pleasure or pleasance coming into play for you. I don't know what you have maybe planned for the new moon. All right, so here's the thing. If you have, okay, perfect, Maddie. If you have something that you're planning for yourself, by Painted Goddess, something that you're planning for yourself that is regarding self-love, self-pleasure, self-gratitude, something like that for the new moon, I am definitely saying go with it 100%. Even if you feel as though it's not the right time for you to take this time for yourself or something like that, you definitely need to get over that, and you need to take some time for yourself, because it's going to lift your attitude as well. All right, so put you in more of a pleasant place, rather than maybe a place that you are in right now. All right, okay, so allow yourself that time, allow yourself that pleasure. Okay, here we go. Let's see, what do I have for you? Okay, all right, so you have the Six of Swords in reverse today. Okay, so that's a lot of swords coming up today, I've just realized. So what I want you to know is that the release of not just connection, but the release to heal is being blocked, and it's being blocked by you internally. It's being blocked by you introspectively. I would love for you, there's this, you're moving forward, right? You're moving forward on this healing path, this beautiful, wonderful healing path that you're on. But in the same token, you keep coming to these blockages. And, you know, sometimes it's really hard to work through these blockages that we have. But I need you to know that the more, or the sooner rather, that you work with it and that you work through it and realize that universe has your back, universe is with you. The more that you realize that and the more that you release, the more you're going to heal, the more you're going to be able to move forward. There is definitely a blockage that is within you, and it is regarding healing. It's regarding a connection, and it's holding you back, but it's you that's holding you back. So please know that. All right? Okay, let's see. So, all right, that is it. That is all the questions that I had today for our session. So I'm going to draw one for the collective now. Okay. King of Swords in reverse. All right. You know, I love the King of Swords because he's a reminder to shit or get off the pot. And when it comes to us in reverse, number one, it's speaking to boundaries that we are still having issues drawing for ourselves. All right. So these may not be outward physical boundaries. These might be boundaries for ourselves, even boundaries that we need to draw upon ourselves for ourselves, you know, not just boundaries that we're putting out into the world for other people to follow, right? So when he comes to me in reverse, he is that reminder. Look, there are lines in the sand and there are boundaries that need to be drawn. And this one in particular really, really wants to be drawn. But there's a point where we're like, okay, how do I say this boundary? How do I express this boundary? The most important way to express this boundary, in my opinion, is to remember that when we draw boundaries of protection and self-love and things like that, we are drawing them out of respect for ourselves, our space, our entire being. So when we do that, we are showing ourselves love. We are showing ourselves that we're putting ourselves forward. We're putting ourselves first. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing ever wrong with drawing safe boundaries for yourself. So the cumulative collective message today is these boundaries that need to be drawn, make sure you draw them for yourself. Make sure you put that line in the sand and know that as hard as they may be to get out, to express, they need to be expressed. They need to be expressed. Oh yeah, you can have a card, Strega, for sure. Good. I'm glad they're going back to school, April. That makes me very, very happy. All right, Strega, let's draw you a card, okay? Collective was boundaries. Now let's do one for the birthday girl. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So Strega, for you, I got the word fiddle that comes through. Okay. Fiddle, like meaning not the instrument, but fiddle, like always fiddling with something, always having to be touching something, or messing with something that necessarily doesn't have to be messed with. Always trying to fix something that isn't broke, something like that. All right. So and the fiddle and fiddlesticks comes through. So if you're feeling like you always have to be getting yourself into something, I want you to check on that. And instead of getting yourself into thinking that you need to fix something even when it's not broke, you know. Instead, allow yourself to dive into some education. Allow yourself to dive into reading or writing or something like that, okay? Allow those hands to be at work, but just in a different way. Just in a different way. More productive rather than fiddling with something, okay? Hope you understand that. All right, so let's draw you a card. Okay. So you have the 9 of Wands today, all right? For your birthday card, the 9 of Wands. Whole bunch of change, whole bunch of manifestation, whole bunch of transformation happening. You are standing your ground. You are standing your ground regarding this transformation and change, which is wonderful. But remember, there's a couple ways that we can stand our ground and take back in that collective message of boundaries, all right? Respecting ourselves, putting those boundaries down. When we stand our ground as well, sometimes we stand our ground very defensively, all right? You don't have to defend yourself in your stance. You don't have to do that. All you have to do is be there. All you have to do is just stand that ground, put down your boundaries, out of love and respect and caring for yourself. You don't have to be defensive or defend the decision that you have made towards transformation and manifestation and change. All right? You don't have to defend it. And anyone that thinks that you do, you might want to take a look at getting them out of your life. All right? You don't have to defend things. Boundaries are the main part for you, and those can be placed beautifully, not defensively. All right? I hope that that makes sense for you, and I will see you on the Zoom call for your birthday, the get together. I'm going to go out and buy I'm going to go out and buy a bottle of wine tonight for it specifically to celebrate you. And that is all for today, my loves. The circle is open but unbroken until we meet again, my darlings. I hope that you have an absolutely fan-freaking-tastic new moon. Love you all. Bye.